Again, no risk, no glory. You can have the
Exactly.
safe life,
Exactly.
you can do everything safe, but you cannot be making those millions
Yeah.
or billions by playing it safe. And then when the expo happened, the market kind of exploded with
Yes.
everyone coming to Dubai.
Especially after Corona.
Yeah, then they were like, oh, this is because only you and Mexico were open, people came to Dubai, and then that's why they invested money. And then after that, the reason was like, it's because of the Russian and Ukrainian war, this is what made the market move. I'm like, great, okay.
Welcome everyone to another podcast, and today we have a very special guest, one that I actually admire and that has a great reputation in the market. And I thought he would be perfect for the topic that we're going to discuss today, which is the true hidden cost of being a landlord in Dubai. So, without further ado, the one and only AJ. كيفك?
Habibi, thank you for the intro. So much pressure.
No, man. I mean, when I first landed in Dubai, you were literally the first person that came across my social media when it comes to real estate. And honestly, you're one of the very few people that I admire because you actually know what you're talking about.
Habibi, thank you.
So, I actually read your book. I thought it was the first one, Take Charge. I thought it was a very good written book, and it actually really gives a good insight on how to get started and really
industry,
take charge of your life in because it's 50% life, 50% work. So it was a good book. I enjoyed it. And I thought, you know what, we've been following each other for quite a while. And
it's about time.
It's about time. خلاص, يعني it's due. So I actually want to kind of hand over the conversation to you as to really what is the true hidden cost of being a landlord. Because everybody says, oh yeah, I have this as a passive income. I have this unit, that building as a passive income. There's no such thing as a passive income. A passive income is someone else's job. And a lot of people still can't wrap their heads around that, especially in a market that's relatively, I wouldn't say, it's a very competitive market like Dubai. So do you really think there's such thing as a passive income or not?
If you are recruiting the right people to manage your property, yes, there is.
So you still need the team.
You still need the team, unless if you want to be awake all the time, answering inquiries of your tenant, or answering all of the requirement that you might take from the Dubai Tourism Department. In the case that you're doing short-term rental, there is inquiries that comes from your concierge in the building, from your security guard. There's lots of stuff that might happen. So usually people give it to a property management company to handle it for you, where they will charge you anywhere between 5 to 8% if you're doing the long-term lease, or you can give it to a short-term rental agency that they will charge you 20% on a monthly basis from the income of the property.
So that being said, what's the property management scene and the facility management scene right now in Dubai? And what are you guys doing differently that is differentiating you from the rest of the competition?
So the way to simplify it for you, we do everything from A to Z. We make your money while you sleep. If you want to ask me what's the process, again, there is the long term, there's the short term. But just to simplify it for you, we get all of the regulations. We make sure that you are having the best tenant for your unit. We make sure that your checks are being paid on time. And for God forbid, if your tenant is having any issues when it comes to a bounce check or something, we make sure that this check is being replaced. God forbid, if the tenant is not paying, we will take care of all of the legalities for you. Like we will take this check for the police station, and then we will file it in the RDC just to make sure that we are getting you all of your money and your payments.
Yeah, and this process starts after, and it's only possible if you actually select the right unit and the right building and the right area, which is also something that you guys do.
Yeah.
Correct? So you not only...
We handle the sales from the second that you think of a property until the handover and post-handover services.
So this is why I was very keen on having this this podcast is because specifically when it comes to these properties, I think now it's becoming also even more
Yeah.
demanded to really have someone full-time on it. And my own observation is that the market right now soon is going to be a little bit oversupplied, at least on the residential. So only the prime residential units, the ones that are serviced well, managed well, are going to be able to survive at least the next few years when the market's going to be oversupplied. Would you agree?
100%. Also, as you said, now people are learning the value of having a property manager.
Yeah.
Because back in the days, everyone would say, oh, why would I pay someone 5% or 8% or whatever? I'll just let one broker list it for me and get me a tenant and do it.
Yeah.
And it used to work until you have an issue. And once you have an issue, you start like, who can help me?
Yeah.
And you will find that no one is willing to help you because you don't have a contract.
Yes.
Then you will start saying, oh, most of brokers are unprofessional.
Yeah.
But it's not the broker's job, because usually a leasing broker means he got you the check. Maybe if he's a good guy or a girl, they will register a jari for you, get the tenant inside of the unit, and that's it. And then later, this is where the work starts. For example, most of people don't know that your unit has 1 year warranty. After that, it's your own responsibility.
Yeah.
Then you look at your leasing agreement, you will see that there is something called a minor issue and a major issue. Minor issue is anything 500 dirhams and below will be the responsibility of the tenant. Anything on top of 500 dirhams, it's the landlord. So God forbid, let's say the AC engine broke down. Tenant cannot stay in the apartment.
Yeah.
It's summer. They can die if they stay there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They need to speak to the landlord. In case that they call that broker who closed the rental for them, most of the time this broker is unresponsive.
Yeah.
He's not in the country. Most of the time he's not even in the industry.
Yeah.
They just made it
Yeah.
as a part-time job
Yeah.
to be there. So that guy is, when you have a property management, that person is in charge of getting this fixed.
Yeah.
Because he needs to speak to the landlord. They say, this is your own responsibility. I'm going to speak to 3 or 4 maintenance company or AC suppliers to get you the best quotation, then to see which one is more eligible or more legit to
Yeah.
deal with them. Make sure this process is done and your tenant can stay in the apartment.
Yeah.
Because as a landlord, if you fail to do that, your tenant can go to the land department and say, this is
Yeah.
a major issue, the landlord is not doing it. Most of our landlords, they are international investors.
Yeah.
They don't live in the country. They don't even know the laws. So if you don't have a proper property manager,
Yeah.
you can get yourself into trouble.
Yeah, exactly. And this is so accurate because even the process of managing the day-to-day requests for tenants has also opened up the market for other opportunities, which I will tell you right now. A friend of mine, Hala, right now, he currently raised a large amount from a VC fund for an app, or let's say software that he developed. It's called Manzilo. So it's a layer, or let's say it's an app that lives in WhatsApp, which basically allows all the tenants to communicate with Manzilo through WhatsApp for all of their requirements. And then Manzilo distributes it according to the various service providers that are doing the maintenance in the building. Because as a tenant, they realize that it's such a nuisance to log into 5 different apps and talk to 6 different people, and so it's a lot of headache. So they actually came up with this, and it was received so well that they engaged almost actually they did engage government clients also to implement this in their app, because they realize, as you said, the properties that are not well managed and that where the service and the response rate is very slow and is not very efficient, people usually don't renew. Tenants don't renew after their lease expires, and then they're fed up. And because now there's supply in the market, they'll just end up going to your competitor or to the building next door if they like the area. So this just goes to show you how important it is to have a property manager, a good property manager such as yourself, because you risk losing that tenant after the lease expires. And now that people have options, it's a buyer's market. So now the customer can be like, you know what, I'll go to another building, I'll go to another property. I don't like this. As opposed to maybe, I don't know, a few months ago, or maybe even a few years ago, I would say not even a few months, a few years ago, where it was still a little bit difficult to find. But now you have so many options. Now the tenant can actually pick. So in my opinion, and I don't know, I want to ask you about this. Is it really becoming a buyer's market as we see, as myself as a real estate investor see it? Do you also see it in the same way?
Nowadays,
Yeah,
of course. Yeah, it's been the case from the beginning of the year.
really.
But it became a buyer's market. And then all of the issues happening in the Middle East really escalated it.
Yeah,
And yeah, it's going to stay like that for the next few years.
yeah,
And you can tell immediately from the developer launches. Once you
Yes.
see them slowing down on the launches, you know
Yeah.
it's a buyer's market.
yeah,
And if you are comparing year to year from this year back to 2025, at least we have a drop of 60%. And we're seeing a
Oh,
huge
wow.
rise in the secondary market now.
Yeah.
We are seeing also a mega rise in the loans and the mortgages. Like the banks are so busy, it's nuts. Like every day they are signing people to get mortgages because it's becoming way easier for the local market, even for the international investors. Like last month in June, I have secured 4 international buyers on an LTV 40-60. And one of
Oh, wow.
those it was actually 35-65.
International buyer,
International
40-60.
buyers, yes.
So that means this goes against the argument that, or it goes against what's being said on mainstream, is that, you know, the market here is dead, people are not buying,
Bro,
the
mainstream,
transactions.
I'm gonna go back to 2014 when
Yeah.
I came to Dubai.
Yeah,
So when I came to Dubai, I was super fresh to the city,
Yeah.
to the people, and I was starting to talk to people about
Yeah,
real
yeah.
estate. They started hitting me with like, oh, Dubai is gone, and I know people, they lost money over
Yes.
here and stuff like that. And this remained all the way up to 2018. In 2018, people start telling me, oh, you guys are betting on the Expo, but the
Yeah.
Expo will be such a flop. Look
Yeah.
at Italy, they lost so much
I
money
remember
in the
this. Yeah.
Expo. And then when the Expo happened, the market kind of exploded with
Yes.
everyone coming to Dubai.
especially
Then-
after Corona.
yeah, then they were like, oh, this is because only you and Mexico were open, people came to Dubai, and then that's why they invested money. And then after that, the reason was like, it's because of the Russian and Ukrainian war, this is what made the market move. I'm like, great, okay. By 2024, they were like, oh, people are fearing to miss out, it's such
Yeah.
a bubble, it will burst, it will this, it will that. And,
Yeah.
and during all of this talk, you know what they always used to tell me? You know, most of the people living in Dubai are expats. And if there is one missile to even come next to Dubai, everyone will leave and Dubai will crash. Oh, buddy, we got 3,000 missiles and drones. And look at the city. It's still busy as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's still people all over the place.
Yeah.
And you cannot even drive. And we're during summer.
Yeah.
And life continued. Now, yes, there has been economical damages when it comes to businesses. Some businesses had to drop salaries in order for them to survive. Most hospitality sector got hit because there is no flights, hotels got hit, holiday homes company got hit, but they're still all working and functioning.
Yeah.
So this mainstream media, they will always find something bad about Dubai to say,
Yeah.
whether it's true or not. Why? Because Dubai is kind of sucking people towards it. It's kind of this huge magnet where everyone is just like coming here without want to ever go back to their countries, irrelevant of how much taxes they've been paying, whether
Yeah.
it's 10% or 50%. They're finding the quality of life in here is unbeatable.
Yeah. So when you speak with these foreign investors, out of curiosity, what do they tell you? How's their reaction to the mainstream media? Do they
Listen,
indifferent?
They all come in here and they were like, oh, we heard.
Yeah.
And they were like, it's
Yeah.
total bullshit. I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
I've been here for 12 years.
Yeah.
I've been hearing people telling other people about the war.
Yeah.
And then when they come, they were like, man, this is heaven.
Yeah.
And just looking at Dubai, they say it's heaven. Not knowing what Dubai has to offer, what kind of money you can make the city, it's tax-free, the safety that we're living in, the beautiful infrastructure
Yeah.
we have. And I'll tell you something, even myself, I didn't know the value of running a business in Dubai until I tried to open in other places.
Then you really,
Then you were
then you
like, wow, I get my trade license in here
Yeah.
in a day.
Yeah.
2 maximum.
Yeah.
Okay. In some countries, I'm still waiting for a title deed for over 9 months. While when you go transfer a property, you get the SMS in 15 minutes where you can download
Yes.
your title deed.
Yes.
So what this city has to offer, there's no
Is
such model.
incomparable.
And I've always been saying they should teach the model of UAE and specifically of Dubai. They should teach it in countries how to run a country.
Yeah, no, 100%. I couldn't agree more. Actually, to support your point, and I'll mention to you even our own development. Remember, we spoke about it. We have a land that we're developing right now in Majan, and we're doing it as a co-development. We are selling the rate per square foot pretty much higher than the rate before the regional instability or before the things started off in the region. Imagine, when people are still buying. And 80% of them, the interest that we have with from the sales record that we see, 80% of the interest is from Europe. Imagine. So exactly what you said, the people that are well-informed, that are not easily swayed by the mainstream media, know the value of investing here. And like you said also, because the friction is so low. You hit the ground running here when you run a business. And this is one of the things that also made us really keen on investing, not just in developing from scratch, but also in the fund that we're doing in 1971 Capital, is another segment that I also wanted to get your opinion on, because you voiced some very interesting figures, is the other sectors such as warehousing, commercial, a grade A commercial specifically, and even workforce housing. Bro, when I'm talking to agents, these guys don't even have enough stock to offer to the demand that they're getting from clients and customers. One of them, who is the top agent in warehousing, he showed me his... I just sat with in the meeting for like 45 minutes. He showed me the amount of missed calls that he was getting. He's like, it's unbelievable. I cannot service my clients enough because there's so much demand, yet I don't have enough stock.
Absolutely, yeah. We've been having this shortage from 2021.
Yeah.
And when it comes to warehousing, I mean, like, there's not much areas in Dubai.
Yeah.
We have Al Quoz, and then you have the IP.
Yeah.
Right?
And Jafsa.
And Jafsa, but I mean, of course not. Like, there is mega shortage when it comes to supply. And I know lots of landlords now, they're taking this big lands like 60,000, 80,000 square feet, and they're doing those
splitting
as warehouses. And then splitting it, because lots of businesses, they require anywhere between 4,000 to 6,000 square feet.
Yeah.
So that model will be, I think it's going to kill it for the next 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Also, when it comes to offices, we need much better looking offices. And because there is a huge shortage of offices, now you will see this overpriced offices.
Yeah.
Like a 2,000 square feet office going for 8 million dirhams.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense, no matter which area you are in. But because there's no availability.
Yeah.
So yeah, I highly request the big developers, the tier A developers, to give us more spaces, more commercial spaces.
Yeah.
Now we're seeing, like, have you heard of what Imtiaz were doing last week?
No.
The commercials that they're building in Jabal Ali?
No, I haven't heard of it.
Something that sold in a matter of 2 hours.
You're joking?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
This is grade A commercial, I'm assuming.
Grade A commercial building looks very nice.
Which area again?
I cannot even call it Jabal Ali, but just like once you pass, let's say, the Blue Waters, another 10 minutes drive just on your left side, there's a Azizi building over there. There's like a metro station in front of it.
So it's in a good location, and close to JLT.
Yeah, just behind it, in 10 minutes behind it. So they have just like got another plot next door after selling the 4 towers. They just got another plot that they're gonna do commercial as well.
Oh wow!
So in that side of town, there is so many big empty lands, and I'm sure now developers will start killing each other to create this commercial spaces. Also, we've seen the Motor City new launch by Avenue. That happened as well. There's a beautiful tower coming in Habtoor City.
Yes.
It's something gorgeous, starting 5,000 dirhams a square feet. I've seen the designs and everything. It's proper just here on Sheikh Zayed Road. What else? Also, there's lots of talks on the maritime city in that side of having more commercial areas. Even there is one developer speaking about getting floating offices in the water. Floating offices, floating commercial
That'll
sites.
be the first time to see something like that.
Yeah.
That'd be
Come on,
crazy.
in Dubai you will not be surprised.
Yeah, you will not be surprised,
They've done
honestly.
it
You'll
all.
see,
They
you'll
deliver
see,
what they say.
exactly.
You know? So yeah, we have mega shortage in this space, and I'm sure for all of the demand coming and for all of the plans, whether it's from the agenda 2033 all the way up to the 2040 plan, we need huge spaces when it comes to businesses.
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree more. What you said is 100% accurate. In fact, let me tell you also an interesting piece of information. You know, if you go on Property Finder or Bayut right now and you search for a grade A office more than 4,000 square feet, right? You'll find maybe at most 3 or 4 listings, and 2 of them or 1 of them are probably fake, like not a real listing. This is it. Imagine in a city like Dubai with the hundreds of thousands of companies that have their headquarters here, you can't find more than a handful grade A office space. Imagine it's nuts. When I saw that, and I was actually discussing it with one of the agents, and this was also one of the many reasons why we also at our fund at 1971 Capital, we decided to invest in those assets because of, like you said, the amount of shortage that it has. Furthermore, you will also see that the same issue is happening also in labor accommodation, like you said, warehouses. You know Sweden, right?
Absolutely.
They did this beautiful development they still didn't deliver it in JLT, also pretty much oversubscribed. So this is all happening also post regional instability. So it just goes to show you how solid the market is here. And I'm happy that you're also confirming the same even on the residential side. Because some people, will say, oh yeah, maybe it's only on the commercial workforce or on the warehousing, but that the same doesn't apply to residential. I tell them, no, it's the same in residential, but like any market cycle, there might be oversupply, but the good assets will always perform. And you specifically, I heard you say it before on a podcast. You absolutely adore branded residences.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Not all of them. Don't get me wrong, because nowadays everyone is throwing a brand and inflating the price with 30-40% and saying take it, it will appreciate. No, that's not the case.
Yeah.
But I mean, like.
I know. I mean, you love the concept.
No, I love it. But I mean, like, I'm just want to give another example. So, for example, I don't know, most people like German cars, right?
Yeah.
Mercedes, BMWs, they perform, they're great. And then you start seeing people picking that specific super or hyper car that no one has access to it.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
It's just like it gives you that feeling of exclusivity. It gives you that fulfillment, whether you're looking to feel the power or the engine or the sound.
Yeah.
And the same in the branded residence. Like once you are in a special building, it's different. It gives you that
like you joined the club.
Not only that, once you want to flip, who are you competing with?
Yeah. It's a blue ocean.
You have 2 bedrooms on the beach side without mentioning any name. You're competing with what? 60,000, 100,000 owners that they have this kind of same product like you. With the same view, with the same But once you have that branded unit, it's different. It gives you that feeling. And people, wants exclusivity. So for me, I shifted from the residential to the branded residence. And I've tried like 6 or 7 brands. I can tell you 3 were as good as a regular residential building. And there is the remaining that they are performing very well. When it comes to rental, and even if I want to flip now, the capital gain, I can say it's giving 28%. Comparing to a similar unit in that area, which is just residential.
But you, as AJ, So you've mastered the art of selling. You've mastered the art of branding and choosing and picking the right brands for residents. And you've mastered the art of property management, facility management. But are we ever going to see AJ move into development?
I started already.
There we go.
Development. Okay. It's been like a couple of years. I started it in Lebanon.
Yeah.
And oh man, Lebanon is such an academy.
Really?
Like if you survive
tell
Lebanon,
me,
you
now,
can survive
now I'm
the
curious.
planet.
Now I need
because,
you to
like,
tell me more.
Yeah, again, in Dubai, there is all of the regulations. Everything is like black and white. You know, you pay this much, you get this. That's you get your permit, you can operate. Over there, it's like a jungle. It's so crazy. Like, I don't know how they do it. It took me like 7-8 months to understand the system.
And you're Lebanese.
I'm Lebanese. Between who to bribe, why I should call, or why I should pay this person, who I should buy the box of cigars, which kind of events I should be there because I'm building in that specific area, which kind of connection I need to have in the municipality. And between you and me, like if the municipality are not on your side, you can't do shit. Yeah. Even if you're related to the president.
Yeah.
If the municipality are not backing you, forget about it. So I got to learn it in the hard way, but I enjoyed it a lot. And definitely there is future ventures in the city.
Okay.
I was planning to do it this year, but again, because of the situation, I don't think it's very smart now to come and launch and ask for something off plan that will be maybe a bit higher than already a ready stock. So I think it will be foolish to launch now, but I'm postponed this project until 2026, but definitely 2027 Q1. But definitely you will be the first and the audience to know about it.
Inshallah.
Yeah, I'm doing this venture here in Dubai.
Yeah, because it just makes sense. I feel like this is just the natural completion of the cycle. Because, mashallah, in my opinion, you're one of the people I respect the most in the industry. Incredibly knowledgeable, very enjoyable to watch, and I was like, how come AJ didn't still move into development?
It's been a childhood dream, I swear.
Yeah.
But, you know,
what why didn't you make, or you feel like you were just waiting for the right time? Like, why didn't you?
I was waiting for the time because end of the day, I came without nothing.
Yeah.
I came here like literally without anything. Yeah. So I needed to build myself up mentally and physically because I was a total loss before coming to Dubai. Then to start, get the groove on, start doing the sales. After the sales, I started even doing the educational part where I have like my academy, I have the books, and then building all of these companies that they are the services. Because I've never planned to open any company. For me, I was just selling real estate. But every company that I used to try to use their services, I didn't like the services. So I'm like, instead of me whining and saying, oh, all companies are terrible, do a better job. Yeah. So I had to learn all of this. Like, again, this is not by background. I come from an advertising and marketing background, So I had to learn all of this stuff. And when I wanted to start the construction in Dubai, I looked around and I'm like, the minimum I needed for a project was 100 million dirhams, which I didn't have. And I didn't want to be having multiple partners in, because if you're not a decision maker in such a venture, it can go a very bad way. Yeah. So I was like, let me start building in Lebanon, doubling up the money over there, and then bringing it to Dubai. And this is what I started doing. Yeah. So it was in the perfect timing where I was really immersed into all of these ventures that I've done. And I think now is the perfect time for me to jump into.
So it's very clear that you're still bullish on the.
Absolutely. I'm the most bullish. Like, bro, let me tell you something. During this conflict, and I will show you even the title deeds, where people were really freaking out and selling, 20, 30, 40% distressed. I invested over 30 million dirhams just in this quarter in UAE. Because I practice what I preach. Yeah. I'm not that broker that tells you, oh, come buy in Dubai. And for me, I don't even have a property. I tripled up during this period. Because this is not my first cycle. I've seen 3 cycles.
Yes.
I've seen the 14, a bit of that dent in 16, the 18. and the COVID. This is not my first cycle, and I know where the prices will be going. And I'm not saying this because I want people to come to me to buy properties from me.
Yeah.
That's irrelevant. I'm in that stage where I'm not sending you Dubai anymore.
Yeah.
If you don't know what Dubai has to offer, it's all good. You can deal with another broker.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you now, the boom that's gonna come after this, it's gonna be the highest ever.
Yeah. No, I fully agree with you. I think I, like you, share the same opinion. I am incredibly bullish about the UAE market as a whole. I personally say this to all of our investors. I personally say this to the people that we work with because exactly what you mentioned. I've also been in the region for my entire life in the GCC, so I've seen the cycle, right? Because it's pretty much common. It was happening in all the GCC countries. Exactly what you said. Dubai always came out as the forefront of, let's say, economic resilience. And one step further that I would take it is also the fact that we are, I mean, at least our business model specifically is that we don't use leverage and we don't use debt. And wallahi, AJ, this has worked wonders for us. Why? Because subhanAllah, when you don't have leverage and when you don't rely so much on debt, you have so much strength and patience to really make the right decision when it comes to the investment. You're not pressured by the bank. You're not pressured by the market. You're not pressured by time. So you're not forced to make any rash or decision that is probably not initiated even by you. And this is the thing that I always try to explain to our investors. Some people may argue that your leverage is much higher when you take a loan. Correct. On paper, it is. But what happens when things go not as planned? What happens when your projection maybe is not exactly what you intended? What happens when you want to pivot and you want to change a few things? And I'll give you our own example. If we had not bought the land and in Majan, because we bought it cash, if we had bought it through leverage or through loans, imagine what would have been the situation with the bank right now post the regional instability. We would have been screwed. We would have been in the very...
There's always solutions.
Yeah.
When you are put in the corner, you'll always find a solution. I cannot agree, I cannot disagree, because I'm the type of the person that loves leverage when it's the right time.
Yeah.
Okay, so I remember back in the days where developers had issues selling their product, and we're talking that's between 2017 and 18. Most of them, they started giving this post-handover payments plan. And that moved markets a lot.
Yeah.
And this also helped us as a broker to really push.
Yeah.
So some, they were like, pay me 50 during, and the remaining 50 you will pay it post on 3 years.
Yeah.
I started pushing for 20, 85 years. I even closed few deals where I really heavily pushed the developer to give me units by just paying 10%, taking the keys because they were ready.
Yeah.
And 90% was 6 years post.
Yeah.
And I did this in Jumeirah, Gulf Estate, and in so many other places. And for that buyer, it was like mind-blowing. Like, I'm selling you a building for 33 million.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? Give me 3 million, and we can start making money from rentals.
Yeah.
And he was like, how? I'm like, leave it to me. Can you give me 3 million immediately? He was like, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I will own this building. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I've done. I split it for him in half. Half was long-term, half was short-term. And the money that we were making from the tenants, we were paying his post-handover payment plan. Whatever shortage was during the year, I'm like, injected. But end of the day, that building, out of which we ended up selling on a much higher price, it was like almost 100% profitable for him.
Yeah.
And what did he pay? 3 million to obtain a building.
Yeah.
And that's an example also for lots of units. We've done the same in Dubai Hills Estate, all over Arjan and other places. So leverage is not bad. Even for people who got mortgages, I'm like, your rent is what, making you 9%. You're taking a mortgage, you're paying 4% interest per year, you're still making 5%. So you're a running business. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
leverage is not bad. You shouldn't be worried about it.
Yeah.
What you should be worried about it again is the force majeures that might
Yeah.
happen, like what happened now,
Yeah.
or like what happened, like COVID or stuff like that. You know what I mean? Even though when this happens, the bank will always be considering the situation, and they will
Yeah.
like, we will refinance this, or we will change the structure, or we will make something. As long as you are always available and every month is willing to pay any amount to the bank, banks are good.
Yeah.
Banks, they will go, they will sue you when you disappear for 6 months, not answering your phone, not answering your emails, like you sound
Yeah.
fishy. They were like, okay, we have to go legal end of the day. But as long as you're talking to them, they will always consider
No, 100%.
whatever situation you're going through.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It like you said, it all depends on the business model, and it all depends on your risk of your tolerance to risk. And also it depends on your belief, because some people are completely against leverage and completely against loan. So number one,
Some people for religious reasons.
yes, exactly.
So they were like, this doesn't work with us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And those are pretty much 90% of the people that like we work with for that. And I would say another big portion of them, they hate uncertainty. So they want everything, like you said, things can go wrong, and then you would have to really negotiate. Some people don't want to deal with that. And those are primarily the reasons. So exactly what you said.
Again, no risk, no glory. You can have the safe life.
Exactly.
You can do everything safe, but you cannot be making those millions or billions by playing it safe.
For me, unfortunately, I wouldn't say unfortunately. For me, I moved. I'm from the camp that I usually don't like leverage, and I'm not a big fan of it, but that's also because of things and just my...
Let me structure something for you. You will be liking those stuff. like, for example, like that's something I do with, which is very basic, and I don't know why it blows the mind of investors, even the brokers. They're like, oh, this is doable, but buy something ready.
Yeah.
Pay for it for ready.
Yeah.
Then call the bank, get proper evaluation, release equity on it of 70 or 80, whatever they will give you. Put it in another 2 small units, okay? Let one of these units pay your installments, and the remaining will be net profit for you.
Yeah. By the way...
we do this every 3 years, and within 10 years, you will end up having 6 or 7 units.
By the way, to clear a very common misconception that there is like some... like the proper, let's say, Islamic financing allows for these types of specific loans that are 100% secured, and then there is a set term and condition that is pre-agreed, so that it doesn't go in perpetuity. So this is actually like something that's offered by a lot of banks here, but you just have to make sure that it's compliant and that it's not just a label. It's not just, put a label on it and khalas, it's Islamic finance. So, yes.
I'm getting it from Islamic banks.
Yeah.
So,
and some of them here actually, Adib is an incredibly good and well-established Islamic bank, like, from beginning to end. They really, really perfected it. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, they're one of the most successful here. It's specifically in real estate.
Yeah.
Their real estate...
you still have Rak and Mashrik. You cannot... These two also, they're like...
I'm saying from the ones that, I'm familiar with.
So from that money that you are generating, you can buy off-plan property. And that will be a cycle. When the off-plan is ready and is making you 20, 25 capital gain, flip it, get out of it, take that money, put them in another off-plan, and this is how you create portfolios. So it's not that complicated. It's not a nuclear science, but just people always, they were like, whenever they see opportunity, if someone has, I don't want to say small mind, but for some reason it always flags, it's too good to be true. I cannot become a landlord of having 10, 20 units. There must be a scam. Where's the scam? You're not paying me. You're not paying anyone. I'm not taking anything from you. You're paying a developer directly to their escrow.
Yes.
I'm just telling you there is ways where you can borrow that money and you can still be profitable from whatever you borrowed.
Yes.
And that's how you build up. And if you look at So they say 85% of the world billionaires has been made from real estate, right?
Yeah.
That's how they made it.
Yeah.
And you can make it too. You just need to open your brains, see the opportunity out there, and take that leap of faith, as we say. That's
Yeah.
it, nothing else.
And getting in touch with the right people and working with the right people, because
It makes a difference.
It makes a huge difference. But if you had to like kind of summarize where you think the market's going to go in the next few years in terms of Dubai and the other Emirates, what's your projection?
It's gonna be stagnant. It's not gonna shoot up again like crazy.
Okay.
It's gonna mature more and more, where the secondary market, I'm sure, will outperform the primary market. Developers will keep launching, but just very cautiously because they don't want to go crazy. And I think the major part will dictate the prices is the new construction fees. We want to know these materials. What will be the final price for it? Because now with the oil changing, everything is changing.
Yes.
So we need to know where it's gonna stabilize. Like for example, now I launched 2 projects in Lebanon. I'm not gonna launch the third one. I'm gonna wait and see, because if I need to increase my prices by 40%, would that market be able to absorb that 40%, or I would be considered as an expensive product?
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm sure they will do the same in here. So the market will stay stable. We will not see those crazy stories of crash and bullshit. The market will be stable, but it's gonna take time for it to have that recovery and to be back where we were in January 2026. It's gonna take a few years, which is normal, which is okay. We're still selling, but we're not selling those crazy numbers that we were doing.
Yeah, and I think it's not just Dubai, but I think even the entire region and the entire world is gonna go through a period of stagnation, as you mentioned, for a little bit until the market recovers. And
so
I
last
think
year we did what, $200 billion.
Yeah.
So if we did this year $100 billion, what's the problem?
Yeah.
Still a crazy number.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And not just that, but also, and I wanted to actually get your opinion on this, is something that was on my mind, is that now with the launch of Etihad Rail, I think this is also going to move markets in the other Emirates a little bit. Already, we've been seeing market really growing and almost on fire in Abu Dhabi.
Yes.
So now
it's been a few years, and it will carry on for a long time.
Why
Because it just started.
Why do you think?
Because like back in the days, the Abu Dhabi market was really like concentrated between the local market.
Right.
It was Emirates that they were buying.
Yeah.
And there was very few freehold projects.
Yeah.
And now we're seeing the rise of the freehold projects where everyone can obtain a property, whether it's in the Saadiyat or Yas or anywhere on those islands. So now, since everyone can afford it, the market will grow eventually.
Yeah.
You know?
True.
And if you want to compare the two Emirates, like Dubai is where the action happens.
Yeah.
It's such a busy place.
Yeah.
Where Abu Dhabi feels like the
More chill.
suburbs is more chill, where
Yeah.
you go really relax, enjoy time with your family, you know, like have that proper
Yeah.
weekend, you know. So this is why, like, yeah, for an escape, Abu Dhabi will be amazing. Not to mention now what ADGM are doing and all of this new ventures that they are moving to Abu Dhabi. Like most of the international companies, they're taking Abu Dhabi as headquarters.
Yeah.
And these people need to live somewhere.
Yeah.
Right? So this is why you will see the rise of Abu Dhabi, and Abu Dhabi will do amazing. End of the day,
And they are
it's
doing
the capital
amazing
of the
well.
country.
It's actually, they call it the capital of capital. Abu Dhabi is
Yeah.
literally coined the capital of capital, because pretty much most of the capital in the world, or like the capital, the main capitals in the world, have pretty much opened up an office in Dubai. BlackRock and many, opened up an office in Abu Dhabi, BlackRock and many others. And a lot of agents, friends that I know that are specialists in Abu Dhabi, are telling me that there is a big demand, like you said, from families, and especially Western families, to set up and have their base in Abu Dhabi, even if their work is in Dubai, because some of them just prefer the quiet, calm lifestyle that Abu Dhabi has to offer.
And then you have Ras Al Khaimah, which has been moving a lot because of the casino.
Yeah.
And then...
And you still think that it's still gonna perform well, huh?
depend on the price these guys are launching on.
Yeah.
They have to be very considerate with the pricing.
Yeah.
Because it reached a stage where it wasn't reasonable. Everyone starts throwing a price.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you have Emirates that said, hey guys, we're here, we're like 15 minutes away from Ras Al Khaimah. We have the best beaches.
They have the
there.
best beaches.
And now you have no idea how many developers they have obtained lands in Emirates. So Emirates is going to be the next new thing happening. And then you have Ajman, when they were like, Ajman, okay, let me give you the most affordable beachfront properties ever.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, it's so affordable, it's nuts. So all of the country is moving.
Yeah.
But again, because Dubai has been the main market since forever, since what, 2005, maybe 6?
Pretty much, yes.
Yeah.
Since they launched the law, the foreign ownership law, I think it was introduced 2002, 2003.
Yeah, that's when the law came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Dubai has been the main one. And I'm sure it will always be the main one, where Dubai will attract people to come in. And then these people will start seeing different Emirates and will like, okay, shall we visit or shall we pick a house to live in here?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think anyone that can keep up with Dubai, whether they are other Emirates in the country or in the Middle East or maybe in the world. For me, Dubai I always say that they are already in 2050.
Yeah.
While the world is still in 2026.
That's
you know
amazing.
what I mean?
Yeah. I agree
I mean,
with
my
you.
love for Dubai is like, it's my favorite child. Let's put it this way.
That's why we're here. And that's why we, like even for us, honestly, AJ, it took more than a year and it cost us 7 figures to set up the fund.
Yeah, I want to know more about the fund. I want to know, like, what are you offering to people? What can someone, like, what's the bare entry for this fund? Can anyone come in, any nationality? Tell us more about it.
I'll tell you a little bit more about it since you asked. It's basically, first of all, it's an income fund, so it's not a growth fund. It's a CMA, which is the regulator. So first of all, let me go back one step. First of all, it's a CMA regulated fund, so it's Capital Markets Authority. So it's mainland, not the IFC, not ADGM. The reason why we picked CMA, because it allows us to go and have access to GCC. So we can own assets in GCC. But yeah, CMA is just, we thought it would be the best place to set up our fund there. So that's number one. Then we have two parts. We have the income fund and then we have the growth fund. So the income fund allows us to purchase assets that are income generating only, so that already have leases and they're yielding rent. And it's the growth fund, which will launch later. That will be phase 2. Then we can buy the land and develop it, sell it. So for the income fund, the returns can be anywhere from 8 to 11% predicted. And the growth fund, it's obviously double digits because, it's one development you make more money because you take on more risk. So that's really how it works. Then we have the asset types. As you mentioned, we're primarily focused on commercial, grade A, warehouses, workforce, labor accommodation, and I would say like anything else that's business related, for example, like healthcare, etc. We would obviously still also do residentials, but like you mentioned, select residentials because it has to make sense and it has to be a property that has good record. The fund in itself is structured to be Sharia observant, primarily because we feel like there's a lack in the market for a proper Sharia observant fund that is really implementing the concepts and that is really implementing the concepts of Sharia investment in the fund itself. A lot of them we feel are, they're not 100% compliant. And we set it up because first, there's a lot of demand. Second, as we mentioned, there's a lack in the market. Third, there's a lot of people, including myself, who are not interested in taking on loans or dealing with interest, and they just want, something to be financed purely on a cash basis. So when it comes to the returns, these are predicted returns. Obviously, it could do more, but we also notice that when you're running on cash, it also allows you to have more leverage or more power when you are purchasing the assets.
Absolutely.
A lot more power. So much to the point that it can move the needle at the bottom line up to like maybe double digits, to that extent, because it's very different when you come to someone and be like, hey, listen, I have a cash, I'll buy this building for 50 million, be like, let me get a loan from, a bank for this. So as you mentioned earlier, a lot of people, for religious reasons, they don't want to deal with bank loans and interest, etc. And this is kind of like who we are catering to. And there are also some people even that are not doing it for religious reasons, that are 100% interested in this, primarily because they see the value and they have very low tolerance for risk. What I feel like is very beautiful in what we're doing is that we are very, very, very risk averse. Like you mentioned, and you said it very beautifully, high risk, high reward. Some people, are not, including myself, I'm not interested in getting high reward and getting into high risk. I'm happy with lower risk, lower reward, but lower risk and lower reward, because
Safe and steady.
that's it. At the end of the day, I'm not going to take the money to the grave with me. To be honest with you, alhamdulillah, I've been very successful in what I did. My father, may Allah have mercy on him, was very successful in what he did. We've built a company that he literally sold his house in Syria and started it off in Qatar, and then went IPO, as part of a holding group in the Qatari Stock Exchange.
It's huge.
It is huge. It was the first construction group of companies that went IPO in the Qatari stock market. And then eventually it was bought out by a big family business in Qatar, majority of the shares. So I've been through that journey. And I've also, unfortunately, had the bad dealings with banks and when it comes to interest. So I know the flip side of it. But again, to each his own. Some people like this and some people like that. And we are catering for the people that want what we're offering. You cannot force people. But for me, I always like to promote, and I always have passion about what I do, because I can really argue against, I can really argue for what we're doing if you really want a stability and a peace of mind. Because honestly, some people, that's all they want. Wallahi, you would be surprised the amount of people that are willing to take 50% less returns, 50% less profit.
I wouldn't be surprised.
But
I know that for a fact.
So thank you very much. عن جد يعني I'll tell you يعني, and then off camera, like I've really had like really, really, really like bad moments with banks. And sometimes if you get stuck with the wrong bank, man.
Yeah, it depends on what you have signed on. That's for sure.
That's the thing. And Wallahi, I swore to myself, AJ, I'll never put myself in that situation again. May Allah have mercy on my father, but I feel like a lot of the stress and the reasons we had was the unfortunate situations that he was put in, and really he was forced to deal with specific banks that made his life a living nightmare, because it was so much pressure. And at the end of the day, you cannot call your own shots. Khalas, you have a partner with you in the business, and that's the biggest problem. And I'm talking about the financing that comes, which is the not like to purchase asset, but it's like financing for projects, etc. That's a different beast.
Corporate partner. It's not even a human partner. Like, there's no feelings. They don't care.
They don't give a crap. They don't give a crap, and they have first call on everything. Yani if push comes to shove, they have first call on everything. They make you sign guarantee personal checks, and they can call at any time if you if you don't go their way.
Let's go back to your fund. Enough with the banks.
Exactly.
So what's the bare entry? I have 100,000 dirhams. Can I enter?
Yes, you can. It will be a different tier. We have different tiers for entry, but yes, you can.
Let's simplify it for audience that they don't know stuff like that.
Yeah.
So very basic numbers.
Very basic numbers.
I am locked for 4 years.
Yeah.
I'm expecting to make bare minimum, which is 8% per year.
Yes, that's expected. And then we take a 20% cut after the exit after the 4th year. So we hold the asset for 4 years.
Okay.
So
and let's say if I want to extend, would I be having different agreement that I might get more?
Yeah, I mean, obviously some things can be renegotiated, depending on the asset performance, depending on how well we do. Everything is obviously after the lockup period is finished. It's up to signing a new contract.
And the payment is paid on a yearly basis?
Twice a year.
Twice a year. So every 6 months.
Every 6 months you get a check, inshallah, for the return on investment that the asset has performed. Okay. So and it's a regulated fund. So AJ, people underestimate how important that word is. When it's a regulated fund, that means I cannot do anything with the fund. I cannot do anything with the money. I cannot do anything in regards to the asset unless I go through the procedures set by the regulators. So there's a custodian, first Abu Dhabi Bank, then there's a legal manager, legal advisor, Argentum Law. There's the regulator themselves. There are valuators that are assigned by the regulators to make sure that we're buying the asset at the correct price in the market. There's a lot of ring fencing. There's a lot of protection, and it allows the investor to be very comfortable.
Definitely, and for people who cannot afford the property in Dubai, so now logically, what a studio and JVC will cost like $500,000.
Yeah.
Let's say so. If you have under that amount and you want that money is sleeping in the bank, it's not doing anything, and the devil is coming to you telling you there's a party here and there's a car here and there's a watch here. Better invest that money, make 8% on it. That can be even more, as you said.
Yeah, it can be even more, and this is exactly what we're trying to aim. And the best part of it right now is we are also trying and working on how we can potentially integrate our fund with tokenization. Still, we're exploring the options, because then that's a completely different beast. Then you're talking retail market across the entire market segment. Then anybody that can, with a small amount, even like 1,000, if the token, for example, goes for 1,000, then you can enter. But that's something that obviously we still have to explore and see how it can be integrated. So let's say that this is completely unofficial, but potentially also could be something that
future is looking bright.
Very bright.
Wishing you the best of luck on it.
Inshallah.
And on your fund.
Inshallah.
And you've already been doing amazing. And I'm sure as long as you are keeping the way you are as being like such a religious person and doing things by the book, nothing will be standing in your way.
Exactly. And I don't for me, everybody, like you said, everybody has their own way for our end. This is what suits me. Some people, they're okay doing other things, but I would like to actually thank you for hosting me in your office. Wallahi, I cannot say it enough how much admiration I have for you and your contribution to the real estate market in Dubai. You're a phenomenal salesman, great author, a great character. You know what you're talking about, and you are very bullish about the market here. And most importantly, you put your money where your mouth is. So you have skin in the game. So you actually put your own money and you risk it when other people just try to sell, but they're not willing to put their own money. And that's something I really, really, really respect about you. And I really, really wish you all the best from the bottom of my heart.
Likewise, it's a mutual feeling. And thank you for this beautiful episode. And many more comments.
Inshallah, ya Rab. Inshallah. Thank you, AJ. Habibi, appreciate it.